Well, another side set here and gone. Disclaimer, this video was written on Monday and prices were taken in the early hours. Prices may have changed and this video may not be completely up to date. However, the general premise of this video is to determine the direction of sets and how worthwhile they are. Which is why I briefly want to give a huge shout out to Renegade Luxuria, Bumpalump, Vesaniae, Zeritm, HiScore Chef, and Dr. Sam Carter for contributing to this video. Your numbers have greatly helped with unskewing some data that I had, because by myself, this set would have honestly been marked as terrible. However, as more data points were added, the overall data was consistent with previous side sets, which I'm sure a lot of players are interested in. Finally, I purchased boxes at $80 each pre-shipped, but out of the 24 boxes, one on stream and one off, what were the overall pull rates, average box values, and of course data compiled from other individuals. While you may see other players, content creators, and more make a fuss about this set, I feel that the best informed insight on a product comes down to quantifiable metrics, not just opinion. With that, let's dive right into the numbers. Of the super rares on my end, I personally opened 12 of almost every super rare in this set within 2 cases. The only exception was Zeritm, who only came in at 9 copies, and then 13 copies of Beelstarmon Ace, and 14 copies of Lilithmon X. In regards to the secret rares, I only opened 3 copies of Beelstarmon X, and 9 copies of Vortex Resonance. Initially, I had immense disappointment because typically in a single case, I'm able to get a playset of both secret rares, side set or core set. But with this particular set, I didn't even get a single playset of Beelstarmon X and 2. And again, while I was immensely disappointed, I had to take a moment and understand that if other players were seeing similar pull rates, this set would ultimately be deemed a failure in my mind. But to my surprise, other players began reporting their pull rates, and as the quantities were totaled, they balanced out. With 97 boxes, this showed that of the super rares there was almost an even distribution of about 50 copies. The lowest pull super rare being Zeritm with only 41. Running the numbers, this particular super rare had a 42.3% frequency, which meant that it could take almost 9.5 boxes to get a play set. On the flip side, Lilithmon X was the most frequently pulled super rare at 54 copies, indicating a 55.7% frequency or getting a playset in just a little over 7 boxes. Across all the super rares, it would take almost 2/3 of a case in order to get you a playset. But the most interesting item for me when running the numbers was the secret rare. While I only opened 3 Beelstarmon X and 9 Vortex Resonance, enough players opened vastly different numbers that balanced it all out, indicating that you should get a playset of each secret rare within 16.2 boxes. But what about the alternate arts? Alternate arts are also a mixed bag of pull rates, and while I do provide the numbers for the chances of particular cards being opened, I do want to stress that scarcity does not equate to high value, and that playability is another factor to consider. In total across the alternate art cards, the most common alternate art in EX7 Digimon Liberator was Gundramon. Coming in at a whopping 17 copies out of the 97 boxes, this showed a rough estimate of 17.5% frequency or almost 23 boxes to get a playset of. You know who got a playset and 3 extra? This guy. But the most difficult alternate art card to pull, interestingly, was Shoto Kazuma based on the numbers. Based on the data compiled from 97 boxes, it would take almost 49 boxes to guarantee a playset. For a card that everybody wants, crap. You can see the remaining numbers here and pause the video to get an idea of how many boxes it would take to get the other cards, or proceed as I deep dive into the remainder of what was released in this set. For box toppers, I can't for the life of me understand why blank tokens would be included, because it felt really cheap. But box topper wise, you had a chance for Agumon, Vmon, Lugamon, Pulsemon, and Digimon Liberator. And to be quick on this part, because I don't think a lot of players care about this, Agumon had the lowest frequency among the box toppers, needing over 32 boxes to get a playset based on the 97 box data pool. Interestingly, Pulsemon had the highest frequency, only needing a little over 16 boxes. But I think what'll interest players the most for this video are the chase cards and the foil common uncommon cards. Again, this data isn't going to tell you that you're guaranteed a chase or a specific foil common and uncommon, and again, the scarcity of a particular card does not mean value. For chase cards, out of the 97 boxes, only 3 chase cards were opened. This indicates that the hit rate for 1 is about 1 in under 3 cases, but based on other players' anecdotal experience, it could be 1 in 4. Some players were blessed opening 3 cases with 3 chase cards total. But remember, it's always luck, and this is where as card game collectors, we are gambling. Was I disappointed in not getting a chase? Yes. But if you're expecting a specific card, I definitely think you're in the wrong hobby. Because of how scarce the data is for this, I cannot accurately tell you which chases are harder to obtain. But with foil, common, and uncommon cards, this was very interesting. Out of the 97 boxes, there are 3 cards that have a very low frequency of appearing: Triceramon, Gigadramon, and Summon Frost. Whether they're super playable is completely subjective to the player. But because of this, I immediately picked up the Gigadramons in fear that players would be playing 3 Musketeers. So if you're checking TCG Player right now, know that it's not my intent to create a buyout on certain foil, common, and uncommon cards, but rather, note that because a certain common and uncommon card has a higher frequency of appearance, their supply will be more readily available. Again, revealing all the data here, feel free to pause and digest all the data on the chance of your card going up. Remember, it's not just about scarcity, but playability as well. Value-wise, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was able to pre-order my boxes months in advance for $80 a box before shipping. Based on the values of Monday morning, your average box value of pulls in just the super rares and secret rares was roughly $100 on the dot. So if you are paying more than $100 for your boxes, this set can have a lot of feels bad moments. Even spending $80 a box showed that out of the 24 boxes I had, 4 boxes were boxes that returned a negative value. If you're itching to crack packs, I do recommend opening an older set at a big box store like Walmart or Target, where packs are going to be a set price. The only downside is you will not have a guaranteed hit like a box would, which for EX7 was 6 super rares, 2 alternate arts, 1 third slot that was an alternate art or secret rare, 1 box topper, and 2 foil common uncommon cards. A word of caution for players who may buy loose packs: do consider that pack scaling is still possible, and with the fact that the foil common uncommon is typically slotted with a super rare, secret rare, or alt art, this pack is hella extra heavy. This set outside of the total hits per box is largely similar in pull rates to previous side sets, seen here on the screen. And because of how similar the numbers are, I cannot justify calling this set terrible or a scam in any way, shape, or form. Again, while I myself was disappointed with my cases, Renegade Luxuria, one of the contributors to this video, opened almost identical to my super rares, but reverse on my secrets. Could the distribution of the super rares and secret rares be improved? Absolutely. This video is also not promoting that when you open a box of EX7, you should pull something similar to the numbers here. This is a gambler's fallacy in which if something happens frequently, it should happen to you. But ultimately, the distribution of this set at times feels very clumped, and to an extent random on what cases get gold, and which ones didn't. Removing the chance for an extra secret rare also felt bad in my mind because that meant in a case, you are now missing out on 4 to 6 extra alt arts, which honestly for players, more is always better. But to conclude, the predictability of box pulls was very quick to discern when opening boxes, and this is something that I would love Bandai to change, as it felt like the moment you opened a specific super rare, you were locked on at least 4 others in the box. In every instance I opened Hexablaumon, I would not see Sendromon in the box. Likewise, every time I saw Sendromon, I would see 2 Lilac-mon, Metallic Dramon, and Heavy Metal Dramon in my box. The predictability for this was much too common. In regards to the foil bordered common and uncommon cards, I always love having a fully blinged out binder for the collection. And while BT11 did an amazing job with this by having them in every pack, I do think that having only 2 in each box is a far cry from what players would love to see. As for my final point, I am still a proponent that if One Piece can have a guaranteed SP rare in their cases, why can't we? BT17 was definitely a step in the right direction, making SP rares or chase cards appear more frequently in cases, though it is still interesting to me that some players got 0 in their case, and others got 2 to 3. But again, I can understand where this is the result of having to navigate between the collectors like myself, competitive players, and those looking to resell for a profit. I hope this video was helpful in developing your opinion and quenching any feelings you may have had in regards to EX7 Digimon Liberator. The links to the survey for the starter deck and the set are in this video description, and I hope you provide Bandai with more feedback to improve the game. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.